Financial accounting, as I told you, this is again integrated inside a sub-modules. So you can see the accounts payable, accounts receivable, and banking, and all other cash management and the forex. Everything has been integrated to each other and mainly to general ledger. The controlling part is mainly for the internal management accounting. Is more of management accounting and cost accounting. That is also part of our finance. It's very tightly integrated with the finance. That is why we always call it as a finance and controlling as a twin. It always goes together. Controlling side. So all these sub modules are tightly integrated to each other, and we are going to see in detail outline on sales and distribution also, because this sales and distribution, even though the entire flow is happening in the sales and distribution module, but finally the destination is financial accounting. Even though the entire sales process, like start from inquiry, quotation, delivery, and post goods issues, and debit memos, credit memos, invoicing, billing, all these are happening in the different module, but finally the financial accounting entries are happening into financial accounting part, that is FI. So that is why this sales and distribution is tightly integrated with finance. Similarly, the material management, so the entire process of your procurement is happening in the another module called material management, but finally the financial entries are happening into finance and controlling module. So production planning, the entire production process is happening in the production planning module, and it's tightly integrated with the controlling, particularly for standard cost estimate, your costing, variances, all those production related accounting entries are flowing into finance and controlling. And when it comes to the system landscape, normally SAP, they install in a different servers. So one the same software installed it into the different servers. First, they will install it in the development server. Even within the server, there are multiple partitions, like a multiple client. We call it as a client. Client means not the general terminology called client. So here, client means it's like a system inside the, it's like a virtual partitions inside the server. So there will be a multiple client inside, and the software, the fully loaded software is partitioned like this. So we can work on one partition and then we'll move these changes to another, and then we can move from, we can test and confirm, and then the customization happens in another server. Within the server, different clients. Then once all these are tested and confirmed, then we'll move these changes towards the only the delta part. The whatever changes you are doing it, only that portion will be moved into another server. We call it as a transport. So we'll move the changes from one server to another server, and till that move happen, it is like a clean slate. That means it is a basic SAP installation happen, but no changes. It's a very clean SAP installation. And then all these changes, once you move from your development server to the quality server, then both will be sync. And we don't have to sync entire thing. We can sync only the good changes, and the customization what is required and tested and proven. Only that portion alone we can move. Even though you do a lot of changes here, we don't have to move every changes to quality. That means you do changes and do a lot of testing and confirm which change is really required, and we can move only that particular part to this server. So that it is like a, here there are 100 changes you made. Out of 100 changes, maybe 40 changes are holds good. The remaining 60 changes may not be required. You may have done it for an R&D purpose. So leave those 60 changes. Only the relevant changes, that 40 changes alone, we can move. That is a mechanism. We call it as a change request numbers, and each change is carried in the numbers, and we can move only certain changes. And this is like a clean configuration, and then we can do the testing here and confirm. Once it is clean and then works good, then we can move the changes to production system. So this is another very clean slate and SAP installation, and we'll move only the good configurations to this one, and this is the final. So these two are just a customization client and a testing client. The final destination is the production client. So this is how normally SAP implementations are happening. So once you get the installation done, you will get a SAP logon pad like this. You can even have multiple servers installed. You can just double click this and then system will take you to the screen like this. As I told you, the client means the system number. So you have to specify which system you are logging in and use ready and password. And once you log into the system, you will get a screen like this. And here you will be doing all your business transactions. The very important thing in the top left corner, there is a box called command box, command field. That is a shortcut. We can type some transaction code and then it will take you to a particular screen quickly. So that is also available. When you log in, you are logging in as an user, but behind that user name, there are a lot of authorizations involved. The authorizations are based on the role based. So there are different roles assigned to a user. So what are the roles assigned to you? Only those areas you will be able to access. So if you are a finance and controlling consultant, only the finance and controlling related stuff, only those roles will be assigned to you, so that you will be performing only the roles which is assigned. That means authorization controlled by user level. So that is how SAP works. So not everybody able to access to everything. So there are some restrictions. It is absolutely based on the role, and assign the roles to the user ID. That is how the control of all your authorizations are happening in SAP. That is a security part. So there are a few shortcuts. When you go to the SAP in any place, you can just press the F4 button. That will give you the options. And if you press F1 button, it will give you the entire help document for that particular field level. So at any point of time, you can keep 6 sections open, and it is a multitasking. So when you do changes in one screen, immediately refresh on another screen, it will be reflected immediately. So when it comes to the project implementation, so there are different phases we adopt. Not like, see, as I told you earlier, the SAP is not just an installation and start using. So there are implementations, there are project execution. So that will carry out during the project phases. So there is a preparation phase, and then there is a blueprint phase, and the realization. This is where you do all the configuration, and the data preparation is a data conversion from other system to SAP. So there are a lot of data conversions are happening, and then we will go live and support. So these are the 5 phases normally we adopt. So now in the latest technology, we merged these two into one. This 1 and 2, preparation and blueprint. We made it as a one, and then realization is continue as is, and then final preparation conversion is as is, and then go live. This is how normally we do the SAP implementations. So
Thanks.
before we have final preparation, the realization includes testing. Not only one testing, we normally do a multiple iteration of testing. There is a testing, unit testing, and integration testing, and then user acceptance testing, like that. Even for the unit testing, we'll do couple of times, and the integration testing we do couple of times. User acceptance testing maybe 1 or 2 times, and finally they agree, that is users are accepting that, yeah, everything is working the way we expected, and then we'll start the final preparation and go live. So the realization phase, that's the reason it is a little lengthy. If you see from 2 to 4, there is a lengthy time. That is because of this includes your customization as well as testing. So there are data cleansing, data cleaning up, all those things are the phase 4. So you can see in the phase 4, there is a cutover plan. The cutover plan includes more of data conversion. The organizational structure, we will be forming, everyone going to form the organizational structure, and then do the configuration. So these are all part of our deliverables. We have to form the entire organizational structure. So for example, Abbott Laboratories, they were having almost like a 450 legal entities in one organization. So we have to accommodate everything. And there are intercompany transactions, different plant, different sales organization, purchase organization. All these elements are part of your organizational structure. So the first and foremost element is the company code. This is a legal entity. So we will be defining the legal entities in the organizational structure, and then how to relate to each other. That is the real form their organizational structure. So in order to do that, you need to learn each and every component, how it works and what is the purpose of it. So that is what we are going to learn. This is called defining the individual elements and then associating to each other and form the tree. So that will, the each link is going to make some kind of sense, and then there is some intelligence we need to build. So those things we are going to learn. So there is an organizational structure. So when you form the organizational structure, not only the financial component, there are some other components which is going to be related to financial components, like a company code. So we will be taking as an example, this is our example. So there is a live client. We are going to model. This is how we are going to define and then integrate to each other.